Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Henry Higgins, and after a week on break, the Lullaby Lounge Novelty Hour returns with a recurring themed episode, the D20 DICEBREAK. Now, basically to bring you up to speed, this involves a set list comprised of 20 tracks, both covers and originals, with 6 of those songs over the course of the episode chosen by the roll of a 20-sided die. As a tweak to the established formula of this themed episode, there was also a 4D with a list of alternate styles to mix it up. Now, the episode itself started with some technical issues. Kate was monologuing like a glam-faced Stephen Colbert, but there was no sound, so no one could hear what she was saying until the mic was actually activated by Ophidian and we heard some random lyrical content because Kate didn't know that the microphone had been activated. It did set the tone though for the rest of the episode, which was essentially the embodiment of chaos. Now, for an episode based on the randomness of a roll of a dice, that was rather apt, wouldn't you agree? Transition! One criticism of the episode early doors, and there will be people who have messaged me privately gasping at the thought of me criticising anything to do with the Lullaby Lounge. I will elaborate more on this at the end of the video with regards to criticism versus fandom and various other things. But the one criticism I have at this point is that it took over 20 minutes to get to the first song. I mean, it's not like the time was spent in silence in System Glitchland. There was a lot of chatting during the period. It's just that for me, and I stress, for me, it's a long time to wait for the first song on a show that is ostensibly a singing show. Obviously, it has transitioned from there to be more of a skit-based show and with songs included. But yeah, that's one criticism of the opening of the show. However, when that song is a version of Circus by Britney Spears, fueled by an undercurrent of aggression that makes it Kate's own, a litany of sins can easily be forgiven. Think waiting for your favourite band to come on stage. It's been forever. You're complaining to everyone around you. But as soon as that first riff breaks the silence, you could not give a shit about the preceding time. Because in the now, this shit rocks your fucking balls off. The chosen songs, which are listed in the description below as usual, were excellent. Seriously. Go and check the episode. The versions of Spring Cleaning and Annabelle, both KNX originals, were amazing. The former being a funkier version of the one that's on Kate's YouTube channel, and the latter, was a stripped down version that takes us down the heartbreak highway with tears in our eyes. For those who have known me for a while, you'll be aware that I adore versions of songs where the artist tweaks it to the point that it becomes a different animal. If you don't know what I mean, check out the original version of It's My Life by Bon Jovi. This ain't a song for the broken hearted. Then contrast that with the version from their acoustic self-cover album, This Left Feels Right. This ain't a song for the broken hearted. The exact same lyrics, but delivered in a completely different style, which changes the entire meaning behind the lyrics in the song. With It's My Life, the first is an upbeat declaration of triumph, while the cover, the acoustic stripped down cover, is a downbeat declaration of being beaten down by life, but vowing to take control of the life that you have and making it anyway. It's the same thing. This version of Annabelle had the same effect on me as hearing that stripped down version of It's My Life for the first time many years ago. It's a profound piece of musical genius. and I don't say that lightly, and Kate deserves much praise for having the talent to pull that off just as well as Bon Jovi did on their own cover album.
Yeah. I was born in this store.
Plenty of segments and skits across the episode too, with Moxie motivating again, Dex being Dex, Margot giving good advice to Moxie via the medium of go-go dancing, which was fantastic, and so on with characters from the intermittent skits and such like. Once we get to the after show, and once the can you or can't you see them nipplegate had calmed down, we were given an intimately powerful monologue by Kate about where the show is going, why the Lullaby Lounge has essentially been a false face covering the true visage of who Kate Nix is and who she needs to be. The show is changing, we are changing, and change is good. She's there. This episode was, for me, the weakest of the season. But you have to understand the context in that statement because the bar is set so fucking high. It was a fun show, but it feels that the technical issues at the beginning, along with Kate's mindset at the time of recording, the looming changes to the show, and all the other real world shite combined to drop it below the usual level Kate can and regularly does deliver. This is what I mentioned earlier, and this is what I'm going to touch on. People have told me that I'm too much a fan of Kate's work to be objective, which is, frankly, bullshit. If someone enjoys a thing, regardless of what that thing is, they are entitled to talk about said thing in a positive light. There are negatives to pretty much everything, but accentuating positives is more fun. Talking about what made me smile, what made me happy, what made me laugh, what made me sing along, what gave me goosebumps, and so on is a much better use of my time. Should something stand out as warranting criticism, then I will mention it. But if you want overly negative, you can find all you can handle and more easily enough elsewhere online. This is not the place for overly negative. As said, this episode did have its issues, but we had those two great songs I mentioned earlier. We also had two very powerful monologues from Kate, and in the after party we were given a bonus open air performance of White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. This wasn't listed on the set list, so it was a lovely surprise. And if you don't know the name of that track, you will know it from the recent Matrix Resurrections trailer, a reaction to which you can find on this very channel. And closing us out, we also had an acoustic version of You Drive Me Crazy by Britney Spears, which was also excellent. All of this was on top of, as I mentioned, the insanely emotional version of Annabelle. I mentioned in the chat at the time it would perfectly soundtrack a scene in a movie where a woman is packing up a house she has to move out of due to some type of loss, ending with her driving away with the old house in the background slowly fading into the distance. It's perfect. We only have one episode left before we get to what was meant to be the season finale but has now become the Lullaby Lounge series finale on August 26th. After that, we're on the long and lonely highway to the Rowdy Bones Roadhouse. What will we find there? Who will we find there? Ultimately, nobody fully knows at present, and that is a good thing. We will find great people, and we will find a place to be ourselves. So hitch your horses to the wagon and join us when the time comes. All that's left to say is thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with us. Please like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, follow Kate's multi-social media network, check out her music on BANDCAMP, Spotify and anywhere else you can find it. Look out on the channel at some point tomorrow as we will be looking over what happened at DC Fandom, giving our thoughts on that. We also went and saw Venom Let There Be Carnage today, so there'll be some kind of throwaway mini review for that one. But look after yourself, look after each other, stay safe, wear a mask, and I will see you all on the flip side, people. Goodbye.